The top 3 finalists in our San Diego Comic-Con correspondent search interviewed a trio of writers about new DC books out today. Batgirl 41 sees Barbara Gordon grappling with her dad becoming Gotham's new Dark Knight. Here is finalist Hector Navarro chatting with co-writer Brenden Fletcher.
You know, we left Barbara in a really particular place at the end of Batgirl 40, and we had intended to pick up in a bit of a different way into 41. But when Scott dropped this Batman bomb on us back in January, it made both of us kind of take a step back and pause and rethink. And having this opportunity to dig into her relationship with her dad is really unique. It's really special. We couldn't just let that slip by. So we're taking 2 issues to explore it.
So talking about the future, Brenden, what can we look forward to in issue 42 and beyond? Are there any other familiar faces that we might see?
I think that you've all seen the cover to issue 42, where we're bringing the famous Superman villain Livewire to Burnside. And she's got a history with Batgirl, you know, a popular history with Batgirl from the animated series. She was in an episode of the Batman animated series called Girls Night Out. We're doing a new spin on it. Babs has redesigned Livewire's outfit. She looks super cool. You're going to see her fighting Batgirl and the new Batman in issue 42. Moving ahead into 43 and 44, we're bringing an old Batgirl villain into the new DC universe, and that's Velvet Tiger. And she, of course, has also got a beautiful new look, courtesy of Babs Tarr, and we've got a slightly new spin on the character.
In Grayson #9, Dick gets a new partner when Helena takes over as the head of Spiral. Finalist Juice from the Box got to go undercover with co-writer Tom King.
Well, you saw at the end of Grayson 8, there's a sort of figure named Agent Zero, who is above the current Mr. Minos, who is the head of the organization behind it. And she's still the head of it, and she still has a plan, and that level is above where Helena is right now. So Spiral still has some stuff going on underneath, and that's all going to come out in this next arc.
Helena's going to start taking over as the head of Spiral. So is that meaning he's going to be having a new partner? And is this a new character that has never been seen before, or is it somebody that maybe we have seen in the DCU before?
We've seen him before, but only in Grayson. His first appearance was Grayson 3. So his name is Tiger. His full name is the Tiger King of Kandahar.
Oh, okay.
And he's Agent 1. He's what we consider,
okay.
Yeah, the best spy in the DC universe, I call him. Don't forget that Dick played a role in Tiger's partner dying in issue 3.
Yeah.
So these are not 2 people that automatically love each other.
Is there any other character from the DCU that you would love to bring into Grayson?
Yes, there are a ton of them, and you'll actually start seeing them in Grayson 9. We call them casually the Shadow Spies, but they have an actual name which is secret, which will come out as we do it. And I think it's 6 or 7 characters that I've always wanted to write, and they're in the background. And you can't quite see who they all are, so it's a little bit of a guessing game. If you pick up the issue, you can sort of figure out who they are. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But yeah, I mean, they're coming right away.
Aquaman 41 features Arthur Curry on the run from Atlantis with some brand new powers. Our finalist Josh Evans talks about the changing tides with writer Cullen Bunn.
Aquaman has to strike a balance. He has to decide what's more important, being King of Atlantis and taking action as a king, and how he balances that with being a hero and standing up for people who need help. And that, you know, trying to walk that line is what gets Aquaman into all the trouble that he's experiencing.
Aquaman is dealing, potentially, with what you can reveal, with some new powers. Can you shed anything on that? Or maybe losing powers. We know that can happen at any moment these days.
Well, maybe he did lose some powers, but you know, I think some people have already noticed early on when we first revealed like some of the first teaser images that we put together. People jumped on the idea that his trident looked different, and the trident, you know, we make no bones about it in issue 41. It is a different trident. You
alluded to it loosely. What can we kind of tentatively expect from issues number 42 and beyond?
There is a threat that is surfacing. This threat is really the crux of what has driven this wedge between Aquaman and Atlantis. And in fact, Aquaman and Mera, who is actually, pulling the strings in Atlantis and hunting Aquaman down. But as Aquaman is dealing with this threat, he's also going to be harried by, for lack of a better term, this hunt squad that's come out of Atlantis to hunt him down. And it's got some familiar faces for, Aquaman villains. It's got some faces that aren't familiar, but that characters that may be familiar to longtime Aquaman readers. And then we're going to be we're going to be exploring all those characters as the story goes forward.
And finally, We Are Robin debuts this week from writer Lee Bermejo. Lee's here to give us a look at Gotham City protected by a new gang of teenage Robins.
We Are Robin basically takes a number of teenagers in Gotham City from different backgrounds who all are kind of inspired by Robin and by the ideals of Batman too. Duke Thomas is a character most people know by now. He was introduced in Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's Batman run, and he's kind of our eyes into this world of this teenage movement. And so you're kind of introduced to these 6 core characters, but there are a lot more.
What do you think makes this take on Robins so unique?
The whole idea of kind of the teenage sidekick is something that I feel like it's a little dated at this point too, and I think that it can be re-envisioned in a way that still works but kind of feels a little bit more contemporary. And I also just like the idea of a youth movement, and placing that in some place like Gotham and seeing how the two things mesh or don't mesh, depending on the point of view.
Lee Bermejo is also at the helm of the post-apocalyptic Vertigo title, Suiciders, and you can pick up issue 5 today. If you want to see more interviews with top DC talent on your favorite books, make sure you subscribe to DC All Access.